Hey y'all, hey, thank you for watching again. I know some of you were watching me through my technical difficulties, but I think we got everything squared away now. Welcome back to the review with Heather. This is reviewing the Love and Marriage Huntsville season 8, episode 4. Keep my wife's name out. We're going to be reviewing that today. Now, again, if you really like this, please share with a friend, like it, send some comments down, some thoughts in the comments. And so we're just going to get started because we did have technical difficulties. And this time, y'all got sound and we can talk about it. So let's get started, y'all. Okay, so the episode opened up with Kimmy and Tisha meeting at her office. Kimmy is showing up with her natural hair growing back from the chemo. Yeah, I like the fact that there's Kimmy showing her natural hair. I really love that because, she went through a lot, and now to see that, she's back healthy again makes me happy. And I'm just glad that we're getting to see the process that happens after she's you know, I guess she's in remission now. I'm assuming. So, I know she had her last chemo, um, uh, what do you call it, treatment, but now we're seeing that her hair's growing back. She's looking healthy and she's back to work, and I'm loving that for her. Anyway, Destiny comes in to chat with the ladies, and they let her know that they've talked to Sunny, and Kimmy says, you know, the thing about Sunny is that she was part of the production crew that was there during the times when she had her biopsy and everything. So she feels very close to those producers that were there around that time. Then she asked Sunny, well, she asked Destiny, is the problem with Sunny that she was friends with her or that she felt blindsided? And or was it that Sunny was a producer and she thought she was talking to her, as a producer, and she's sharing a lot of things, and if that's what blindsided her. Destiny says both, because when she and Sunny left, the friendship continued. So when Sunny left the show, the friendship continued, even to the point where her sister invited her to her birthday party in Mexico. So if that's just kind of giving you an idea of what's going on there. The problem was, Destiny is under the impression that they're closer than what they seem to be now. So Kimmy says in the confessional that just looking at everything, maybe Destiny thought they were closer than what they were, and Sunny was just doing her job. And that's really sad, because you don't ever want to get to the point where, and I get that these people have to do their jobs, but at the same token, um, maybe let them know that y'all not that cool, or whatever the situation is. Let people know that. Anyway, Kimmy then says that she and Tisha feels like Destiny and Moses, or Destiny and Sunny, or Destiny and Moses and Sunny, all of them need to have a conversation. In that case, they say that Destiny just doesn't seem receptive to any of that. She don't want to talk to Sunny at all, and maybe she wants to just clear things up with Moses, but she don't really seem like she want to talk to Sunny at all. So they also let her know that, even Mel came to her defense regarding the situation. And the funny thing about it is Tisha um was saying, Tisha was telling her, well, telling the confessional, that even with the information that ooh, these all these words and letters and people Melody was sharing with her, she didn't really know if she could trust her, as far as, like, she don't think she did anything with Martell or anything like that. She didn't feel like it was necessary to share all of their conversation. And for Tisha, that's growth, because Tisha be talking. They asked Destiny if she's talked to Mel. She said no. Are you interested in talking to her? Not at all. And they talk about fixing Tisha's relationship with Stormy. And Stormy gives the sign. I mean, Tisha gives the sign, I don't really want to talk to her. And both of them are at the point where, oh, I can sit in a room with somebody, but I just don't want to be pushed doing things, because they were talking about the girls, meeting up and doing things together. And can y'all at least sit in a room and not fight? I think that's where everybody wanted to go. Um, we'll see. Uh, so moving forward to another scene. Every scene with Martell, I want to skip. but I know we have to review. I mean, I guess I don't have to review, but I'll give you the brief synopsis of what happened. Martell and Nell had a conversation. They rehashed the stuff going on with the whole he and Melody and him going to jail thing. Nell says she don't like the fact that he went to jail. Okay, whatever, Nell. Um, yeah, it's still a whatever for me on that. Martell trying to deny anything that he did wrong. Yeah, okay, whatever. And then they talk a little bit about her situation, and she clears the air about not being a side chick. Now she coming to his defense, and look at him getting ready to talk all funky to her, talking about you wasn't never side chick and all that kind of stuff. And you know, and that's par for, you know, who this dude has been. He's, you know, he wants to show everybody that he's so, what's the word? Um Innocent. But then when it comes to other people, then, you know, he's like, "Oh yeah, well you wouldn't, whatever. I'm having a hard time believing that." You know, I don't like those kind of people. I just don't. I don't fool with those kind of people because, you know, they always want to go on these crusades about how righteous they are, but they want to find fault with everybody else. And even if there's no fault to find, they trying to find it to make themselves look and feel better. Anyway, she talks about the situation between he and Mel, and the reason that she brought him there was, you know, letting him know she's going to have a party. She's going to be inviting people. He will not be invited because she talked to Mel, and Mel don't want to be in the same room with him. She don't want no problems. So therefore, she's going to um be done. So in that case, what ends up happening is yeah, she doesn't want him to come, because the thing about it is, if you bring them in the same room together, they're going to mess everything up. They're just going to mess it all up. So she doesn't want that problem at her um birthday party. So she just not going to have him come. And he like, I don't want to come to your little funky thing, no way. Whatever, dude. So the Scott brothers meet up with Moses, and they want to talk a little bit with him about this situation, because they're like, look, everything's going at warp speed. Like, what happened? What is going on? And so here's the thing. He keeps trying to talk to everybody and downplay the situation between he and Destiny. But the thing that I find interesting is that everybody knew that he and Destiny were in a relationship, but he wants to make it seem as though it wasn't as um serious, maybe. And it may not have been as serious, but people did know they were in a relationship together. And so the Scott brothers wanted to meet with him and talk a little bit about that, because maybe they could like help him, you know, figure out how he's gonna handle things. And well, he is not in a place to listen. Here's the other thing, and this is why I feel like there's something weird happening with this relationship, because Marceau says in his confessional, um, he, Letitia, Stormy, Courtney, and Destiny and Moses were all hanging out together as couples. And they also exchanged numbers with Moses because he's in the trucking industry. So I don't know. I think it's more than a casual relationship when it comes to that, because why, I don't know. It's something still nefarious with that. Um, they let him know that it seems like things are moving really fast between he and Sonny. And they ask him a few things like, when y'all get married? And he's like, well, December. And we talking about, if it's 2024, that mean they got married in December 2023. This probably taped in February. I'm just thinking January, February. So this all is going pretty quickly for someone that just started talking in like July, August. That's, a few months. So they're like, oh, how do you? He's like 41. I'm like, that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But what they are trying to get him to see is that if he don't get ahead of this thing, as long as they're on TV, it's going to look bad, and it's just looking messy on their end. So, he needed to probably have a clean break. He probably needed to, have a different conversation with Destiny before moving on with Sonny. Like, nobody's hating on y'all getting married and stuff. You gonna do what you gonna do. But people are looking at the situation that it maybe not is the best choice for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just don't look good. It don't look good. He and Sonny have a lot of little rehearsed answers about their situation, about being a blessing and all this type of stuff. I always notice people start throwing in blessings and stuff when they real. Not right. But it's whatever. Um, so they're asking him, listen, and they're telling him, look, you think you can handle one or two little bad comments. You think you're okay with this type of stuff until it starts to infiltrate, your relationship seriously. And, Marceau says, hey, I almost lost my marriage, because those comments get tough. I've seen what people write in the comments. I try not to comment on anything other than my opinion in my own stuff like this. But like, people just do just straight up attacks. And what happens when your wife gets upset and sad and everything? What you gonna do about that? And he's like, oh, we ready for it. And I'm like, boy, they trying to tell you, but let them find out the hard way. Maurice says, look, get ahead of the situation. Y'all talk about go talk to Destiny, whatever it is, so that, you can clear the air with them anyway. But Moses did let them know they immediately started IVF treatments, right after they got married. It's a lot of, it's a lot happening in a short amount of time. Anyway, going to the next scene, the gym rats invite Courtney and Stormy over to the gym to work out with them. Now, let me tell you something. Courtney said he ain't trying to be coming up to be picking up no heavy stuff all day. Look how he dressed. His shoes don't have no crease in it. He ain't there to work out. Nope. They there to hang out. That's just different. Stormy all cute with her little outfit. They are not there to work out seriously. Okay. They are just there to have fun. While they work out, each of them talk to their respective friends to see what's going on, just to get an idea of what's happening. And also, this is a better way for us to get to know who these people are, these new people on the screen. And I think this is a much better way than, like, say, the time that, what's the child's name? I can't think of her name. Them Whitlows. I can't think of her name, was introduced, because she came in just with the fire and it was just too much. And we just never could. I never liked her from there. Anyway, Courtney, I ain't never heard Courtney talk this much. He said he had no clue those two were together. He went to high school with Tricia, and of course they talking about their careers, and the guys are talking about their careers and how they play AAU ball together when they were younger. Over on the ladies' side, Tricia and Stormy catch up, um, just to see what she's got going on with business and relationships. Tricia says she's in a good space, but she always waits for the other shoe to drop. And she's sharing more about her story as far as like losing her parents within 6 months of each other, then her sister dying, and then it really took a toll on her relationship, on her marriage. And so she feels like she really lost her marriage as a result of losing her family. And she talks about the amount of anger she had. Also, the fact that she just didn't feel like she had people on her side. And that's really, that's something to think about when you're with someone. I guess she felt like she couldn't depend on her husband. So that's something to, that will, thing about loss and everything is that it's either going to make your relationship or it's going to break your relationship. And this definitely broke her relationship. Um, Courtney and Ken talk about having, her having that quick temper and not being able to control it. And Courtney was saying that, she's always been like that, even in high school. She and her sister were like that. And, people were kind of afraid of them. And Ken told her that she not gonna bully him, and they're gonna have to work on her getting them emotions under control. And he said it was very rough at the beginning, but he started listening and understanding her, so that's been helping. And she even admits that she don't even understand how they lasted this long because of the way that she was having emotional outbursts and everything. They've been together about 2 years. They want to get married. Stormy asked her what's holding her back from marriage, and she said her ex. They hadn't made the paperwork final. And I think this is where a lot of people get a little, I guess that's where those gray areas come in. She and the ex don't really have dealings with each other, but it's just a matter of signing paperwork. And I know a lot of people just never get to that point when they are separated. They'll be legally separated for years, but they just never will, pull the trigger on the divorce part. And I don't know, for whatever reasons, people have their reasons. It's whatever. But they will maintain relationships outside of the marriage. But in their mind, mentally, they've checked out. The marriage is over. But I know some people are very much sticklers on you have to have papers in hand before I fool with you. So, and this is the difference between the difference between her relationship with Ken and Chris and Nell's relationship, because Chris was legally separated when he met Nell. And same thing with Maurice and Kimmy. Maurice said he was at the house a year. But it's just the paperwork wasn't signed and everything. So this is where people, all those gray areas fall in. I don't really have an opinion about that, because I think you do what works for you. And I think that people know what works for them and their significant other or new or non-significant other at that point. But what they will accept and what they consider as being together and what's not, together. So, it ain't my business. In other words, I don't, like I said, I don't have an opinion about that, because I just don't. Um, Ken said he understood that as well, because while she was trying to tie up her loose ends, he was trying to tie up his loose ends. He was still living with the ex in the same house. They may not have been in the same room, but they still, still getting their things together. So I think they just really understood where they had to be. So let's skip on over to the next scene, because again, this is another scene I could just really skip. Chris meets Martell at the investment property. Of course, trying to get a little bit of a view of what it looks like and everything. We're not going to talk too much about it, but he did want to talk to Martell about disrespecting his wife. Let him know again, she's not a side chick. She ain't like what you got going on. And everybody seems to, he keeps trying to minimize everyone's relationship or put them on the same level, or put himself on the same level with them, where he was avidly, in a household with a wife, no separation, actually having a side chick going to her house. That's a different story from we're on the path to divorce and we're not even having dealings with each other. So I can't stand it. That's what I do have an opinion about. He was telling him he's not going to accept that disrespect of the wife, but then they get to talking about the charges, and again, Martell is skirting the information about whether or not he's a side, whether or not he did what he did to Melody and everything, and everybody's asking him all kind of questions, and he just keep answering questions with questions. Y'all not gonna get a answer out of him, but what I do know is if you sent a text and deleted it, that don't mean it's deleted from the other side. But anyway, um, and ain't nobody, they can't arrest you for something that's just, oh, I just sent a text. There was something else with that, and I hope we all know that it was more than just a text that was going on. It's the content of the text, and then probably pictures and things that were sent along with that. So as much as he wants people to believe this is just some asinine stuff, we know that it was more than that. If anybody with any sense would know, it was more than that. Chris asked, what's the resolution? Because y'all can't keep doing this back and forth. Martell ain't got no answers. Chris, asked, like, he asked, do you think you owe her an apology? He ain't finna apologize. He ain't gonna change. Y'all stop talking to him because he don't want to change. In the next scene, Destiny meets with Moses. Baby, let me tell you about Moses. If he ain't gonna do nothing else, he gonna wear a white t-shirt. Anyway, he says he wants to clear the air with Destiny because he doesn't want the world to view his wife negatively. Too late for that. And he admit that he maybe should have communicated better when he decided he wanted to move forward with Sonic. Again, too late for that. We'll see. He was telling her, what's funny is he's trying to have closure, but he just letting her know that the relationship was over when he got with this anyway. He wanted to let Destiny know that their relationship was over when he met up with Sonny. And Destiny wants to know if a good person, if supposed to be a good person, would you really be doing what you did? And he said, well, we both had your best interest at head. Child, don't say that if y'all both knew that y'all wanted to get with each other and you knew it was going to be a sticky situation. This is an in-person conversation that needed to be had before y'all moved on, because we know if you had an intimate relationship with Destiny for months or even a year, I don't know how long, that it would look kind of weird that the person that she considers a friend / producer of the show that she's on ends up moving on with you. You don't think that somebody gonna feel a type of way? Like, I don't understand why they keep trying to see why she, how's she gonna be mad when that's just a little weird. It just is. Anyway, um, she says if a man loved her and had her best interest, he wouldn't have made the moves that he made, and he agrees a little bit. And she said she felt like he trying to be spiteful and vindictive and all these things, and he was like, well, that's not what it is. You just didn't hold down your whatever they trying to say now, like, oh, you just didn't do your duties. And I'm like, y'all get on my nerves. He said that, like, well, you didn't come to my party in St. Louis and you didn't give me the time and attention. And I told you maybe we should be friends. But I'm like, saying maybe we should be friends, saying all this thing and not saying, hey, it's over, is not ending it. And especially if you're still texting and still talking, you're not, I don't know. So she said, you just wanted me to court you like you was my girlfriend. And what she say that for, that really made him upset. Anyway, it's a lot going on again. She asked him, when did they start talking? He said July and August. She said, well, you were still talking to me. And you saw her in July and exchanged numbers. She said, in August, you sent me money. And I sent you a text that said, I choose me in August. He said, well, I told you in April. Look, it's a lot happening here too. Because you was in a relationship with one, not in a relationship with other. You got out the relationship with this one, you married the other. It's a lot. It's there's a lot of overlap and messy, and a lot of non-communication happening. Anyway, she said she got text messages from him all the way up to August, and that's where the episode ended. Because she said, you love me right on up to August. So tell me how this is happening. I'm like, ooh, y'all don't have any. Anyway, and that's where the episode ends. Listen, if you have hung out to this point, thank you so much. We had a little bit of a hiccup at the beginning. I'm probably going to edit this once the live ends so we can take out all the other part. But thank you so much for watching. Of course, we're going to wait to see what happens next week. Just remember that I am reviewing not just this show, the Never Ever Mets. I'll be putting up when I get finished, I'll be putting up the episodes of the Ultimatum. We're gonna be talking about doubling down with the Doricos. So a lot of the shows that you guys are seeing in reality, we're gonna try to hit them all, especially this summer. Now that the kids out, I got more time. Woo! And so thank you again for watching. Look, if you want to share this, please share, please like, please subscribe, please do all the things that you do. Thank you all for watching. Also, y'all do know this is Heather's Passion Academy. So this summer we will be talking about all things passion. We'll be talking about things that, make you a happy camper when it comes to those things. I'll do some lunchtime videos as well as some uploads. Mostly everything's going to be on YouTube. So if you're not following me on YouTube, this is a great time to start. Um, I can't think of anything else that I want to let y'all know other than thank you for supporting. And we will see you in the next video. Thank